Today we're going to be looking at Magic the Gathering cards, super old ones that have nothing to do with their current Oracle text. The text, they don't match exactly. In fact, if you read the old cards, maybe they don't even do exactly the same thing. We're going to start off with Spider Climb. Spider Climb suggested by Oh Boy. Spider Climb is a green enchant creature. You may choose to play Spider Climb as an instant. And now if you do, bury it at end of turn. Enchanted creature gets +0/+3 and can block creatures with flying. So let's see how the difference it is today. Today it is an aura, not an enchant creature. You may cast this spell as though it had flash. If you cast it at any time a sorcery couldn't have been cast, the controller of the permanent, it becomes, sacrifices it at the beginning of the next cleanup step. Good God! The gymnastics that they have to go through to template the old cards. Enchant creature. Now enchant creature gets +0/+3 and it has reach, which means it can block the flying creatures. Like they added here anywhere. It can block creatures with flying. Just in case you didn't know, it can block the creatures with flying. Okay, let's look at more cards. Oh, we're gonna have, I'm sure we're gonna get a bunch of some popular ones. The Oubliette. Now, to be fair to Oubliette, as we read it, the old version of we need the old one, the Arabian Nights version. This old version actually is pretty damn the closest to how it works today. It was a 3-mana enchantment. Select a creature in play when Oubliette is cast. You know, maybe the problem was making enchantments do weird things. That was probably the mistake Wizards made back in the day. Okay, select a creature in play when Oubliette is cast. That creature is considered out of play, as long as Oubliette is in play. Hence, the creature cannot be the target of spells and cannot receive damage. Use special powers, attack or defend. All counters and enchantments on the creature remain, but are also out of play. If Oubliette is removed, creature returns to play tapped. Now, how does that... If we were to wonder, okay, what kind of effect in Magic does that describe? Phasing. It's describing phasing. So now they changed it to an enchantment. When this enchantment enters, target creature phases out until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Tap that creature as it phases in. And if you understand the phasing rule, like everything attached to that creature phases out. It all gets phased out. It's gone temporarily. But it's going to be back. All right, it's going to be back when Oubliette is gone. They turn into an Oblivion Ring, sort of. Toilet Duck, do new cards with old style like ancient scripture count, or do they have to be? They don't have to. They got to be old enough that the text has to be pretty jank. You know, that's the rule. We want sort of very janky text. You know, we don't want like the creature type changed by a little bit, not that much. Okay, John, with remove enchantments. What's that? Oh, it's a card. We have a white instant. Remove all enchantments you control and remove all enchantment cards played on all permanents you control. If the spell is cast during an opponent's attack, also remove all enchantment cards played on attacking creatures. All enchantments you own are returned to your hand. All other enchantments are destroyed. To be honest, it's pretty straightforward. So it actually says, return to your hand all enchantments you both own and control. All auras you own attached to permanents you control, and all auras you own attached to attacking creatures your opponents control. Then destroy all other enchantments you control, and all other auras attached to permanents you control, and all other auras attached to attacking creatures your opponents control. So it sounds like they a little bit more better specified the difference between what you own and what you control around here. Next up, let's go Vibrant Toucan, Unyaro Griffin. This is going to be a painful show today because I got to read. It's like I'm reading 2 cards at once. Every single card is reading 2 cards. Okay, Unyaro Griffin is a flyer. Sacrifice Unyaro Griffin. Counter target red instant or sorcery spell. How could that go wrong? Flying. Sacrifice this creature. Counter target red instant or sorcery spell. Is that important for, like, what's it called? Agatha's Soul Cauldron? Like, if you exile the Unyaro with Agatha's Soul Cauldron, you give a creature the ability of the Unyaro. But unfortunately, that creature itself is not Unyaro. Also, when it says sacrifice Unyaro Griffin, it also sounds like you can sacrifice other Unyaro Griffins. Like you have multiples in play to get the same ability. See the old printings? Oh, did it get worse? Sacrifice Unyaro Griffin, counter target red spell that assigns damage to you or a creature you control. Oh wow, it's even worse. No, God, place ability as an interrupt. Now it just completely does a different thing. It's not even close. It's not even close. I looked at an old card. I had to look even older. The Unyaro Griffin gets older and older the closer we look at it. This creature seems like a lame change, like it enters versus ETB. It's still something. It's still something. All right, we got Mappius, Raging River. Is that the split that... Oh, God, I hate these types of cards. When you attack, non-flying defending creatures must be divided as opponent wishes between the left and right sides of the river. We're doing a little bit of role-playing here, all right? You just have to trust the process. You then choose on which side of the river to place each attacking creature, and attacking creatures can only be blocked by flying creatures or those on the same side of the river. What the hell? Okay, anyway, whenever one or more creatures you control attack, each defending player divides all creatures without flying they control into a left and right pile. They screwed the river at that point. River is not rules text anymore. That's not official rules text. Then for each attacking creature you control, choose left or right. That creature can't be blocked. This combat except by creatures with flying and creatures in a pile with the chosen label. Very silly cards back in the day. Very, very silly cards. We got super chats galore. We got Little MX Doom in the house. Selfless Exorcist. Reminder text lies to you. Oh, does it? So the Selfless Exorcist is a 5-mana cleric. Tap, remove target creature card in a graveyard from the game. That card deals damage equal to its power to Selfless Exorcist. A star on a card not in play is 0. A star on a card not in play. How does it lie to you? Or is that not true? I would assume, or I don't know how the star works actually for creatures that are in the graveyard. Does it still does it still account for like if there's a Tarmogoyf in the graveyard, is it still like something? Is it still a big creature? Check the ruling on Selfless Exorcist. Okay, well, let's look at the real text. Exile target creature card from a graveyard. That card deals damage equal to its power to you. Now, according to the rules information, the reminder text printed on Selfless Exorcist is no longer correct. Abilities that define a creature's power and toughness apply in every zone, every single zone. Okay, the value of star is defined by such an ability. Okay, so it's not always going to be right. Sometimes it'll be right, maybe sometimes it'll be wrong. Yeah, some cards change power and toughness, even not on the field. Great point. All right, Selfless Exorcist. Doesn't even work today. Oh, we got David Sampson, All Hallows Eve. Is there something wrong with this card? I thought it mostly did what it said. We need to go legends. Well, we need the legendary one. 4-mana sorcery. Put 2 counters on this card. Any counters, apparently. Remove a counter during your upkeep. When you remove the last counter from All Hallows Eve, all players take all creatures from their graveyard and put them directly in play. Treat these creatures as though they were just summoned. You choose what order they come in play. And of course, that's a completely botched version of Exile All Hallows Eve with 2 Scream counters on it. This has just been suspend. Just suspend. Okay, at the beginning of your upkeep, if this card is exiled with a Scream counter on it, remove a Scream counter from it, and if there are no more Scream counters, put it into your graveyard, and each player returns all creature cards from their graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, next super chat. We got John, the card Impulse, of course. Originally had you shuffle. I think they errated that, like, instantaneously. Like that was like a 1 week errata because it was they screwed up. They rushed it out. No one caught it. 2 mana, instant. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. But then you gotta shuffle it afterwards. Like, so, like, what the hell? What the hell was I putting them on the bottom of the library for? I should just shuffle them back into the deck. So they got rid of the shuffle part. Look at the top 4 cards. You were supposed to just put one into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. That's right, scream counter, Toads. You gotta scream. You scream, I scream. We all scream for All Hallows Eve scheme. Dressaru, Luris of the... Oh yeah, Luris, okay. It's not that old, though. I'll counter because actually the card does not do as it says. So we do need the, I believe, the original print. So the original, it's a companion. Each permanent card in your starting deck has converted mana cost 2 or less. But originally, you could just take that thing from your sideboard, put it directly into play. So they had to errata it. If this card is your chosen companion, you may put it into your hand from outside the game for 3 mana as a sorcery. These days, you just gotta know. That's the deal. And on future printings of Luris, they did print that. And then they banned the card. What a pointless errata. They could just ban them all in the first place, and we didn't have to do anything. Next, we got a super chat from Toads. Instill Energy. Really? Old school shenanigans. Okay, but we have to go super old. That's not old enough. We want the oldest of the old. Green enchant creature. You may untap target creature both during your untap phase. Is that even possible? And one additional time during your turn. Target creature may also attack the turn it comes into play. Okay, hold on. Just without looking at the Oracle text, I'm assuming... I don't know what this does. Okay, so at the first, it's going to give haste. This actually sounds like it would be a much more interesting show, like like me trying to predict exactly how the card works. Okay, I'm assuming it gives haste. I'm guessing at the beginning of your upkeep you may untap this creature. That's all I got. That's the only thing I could think of. Enchant creature. Enchant creature can attack as though it had haste. What the hell? Why don't you just give it haste? That doesn't make any sense. And then 0 mana, untap enchant creature, activate only during your turn and only once each turn. Okay. When they said untap target creature both during your untap phase, I literally thought you will only be able to do that like at the beginning of the turn, but you can't do anything during your actual untap. But you can do it at your upkeep. That is a wild different card. No, it's not even close to the damn same thing. That requires a tap. I know. It's half haste, but you can attack but not use a tap ability. Oh, that's the deal. Does not actually give haste. It's half. Okay, that's the deal. I would get caught red-handed. Super red-handed if I try to activate an ability with this thing. Hexador, False Dawn. False Dawn is a 2-mana sorcery. Colored mana symbols on all permanents you control and on all cards you own that aren't in play become white until end of turn, and you also get to draw a card. So they turned it into until end. It's interesting. Until end of turn is put at the beginning, but is it functionally different? Until end of turn, spells and abilities you control that would add colored mana instead add that much white mana until end of turn. You may spend white mana as though it were mana of any color. So hold on, it's just a multicolored card. That's not even close. They completely buffed this card up. Look at that card. If spells and abilities that you control would add any colored mana, instead add that much white mana, but then they turn into colored mana again? What the hell? What is the point of this thing? And on all permanents you own that aren't in play become white. Oh no, wait one. Until spells and abilities you control that would add colored mana. So instead of changing the identity, it's really weird. It's in the first original card actually just changed everything into a white card, and now the future thing is like the current text is okay, if it added mana, it turns into white mana, but then you can use that mana to add any color, which is filtered into anything else. It made the card doesn't work with devotion anymore. Yeah, it doesn't do that. It's a completely different thing. It's a completely different card. It's not even close to the same. Yeah, nerf devotion. and slightly weird mana filtering, I guess. Slightly weird. Fantastic suggestion. David, Bounty of the Hunt. Cold Snap theme deck printing. Cold Snap. All right, we got the Cold Snap one. 5 mana instant. You may remove a green card in your hand from the game rather than pay the bounty's mana cost. Until end of turn, target creature gets +1/+1. Target creature gets +1/+1, and target creature gets +1/+1. What's wrong with that? So you may exile a green card in your hand to play this thing for free. Distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures. Do they really need to specify that? I mean, I feel like I got it here at the bottom. That seemed like a completely unnecessary change. For each +1/+1 counter you put on a creature this way, remove a +1/+1 counter from that creature at the beginning of the next cleanup step. Oh yeah, because it's just until end of turn. Okay, a weird change, but a change probably needed nonetheless. Okay, we're going to take a look at more of these crazy old Magic cards, but we do have to thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to get my Magic the Gathering cards, including those old jank cards. You want to confuse your friends at game night? Well, get all these cards today and, like, make them read them and say, no, that's not actually how it works. Actually, and this is a bit of a story, so sit down for this one. You can do that all night when you're buying these cards from FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget to use, however, coupon code. Where's my coupon code? Coupon code Nikachu. Where are you? There it is. To get 5% off all your purchases, and it supports the channel, and I would very much appreciate it. Okay, let's get back to our... What am I doing here? I'm discombobulated. Okay, next, who's up? Who's up next? I believe it's a freebie. Kano, Floral Spasm. Is no longer sentient. Floral Spasm. No longer sentient. It's a 4-mana 2/2. It's a summon a Spasm. If Floral Spasm attacks an opponent and is not blocked, then Floral Spasm may choose to destroy. It may choose to destroy a target artifact under that opponent's control and deal no damage. And I guess that these days you get to choose. Whenever this creature attacks and isn't blocked, you may destroy target artifact defending player controls. And if you do, this creature assigns no combat damage. Cool. We got Benny. Thank you so much for your super chat, Benny. What a potato's favorite day? Friday. What? That a card? What is a potato? Well, okay. I'm assuming that is a donation to chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. We'll donate to someone who donates a lot of cards. Steve Cooper with Anime Dead. This is just like one of the most botched cards ever translated in the history of Magic the Gathering. It was necessary for the rules. 2 mana, enchant dead creature. All right, don't be enchanting anything alive. Any creature in either player's graveyard comes into play on your side with a -1 to its original power. Now, if this enchantment is removed or at end of game, target creature is returned to its owner's graveyard. Target creature may be killed as normal. To be fair, the original text actually is pretty straightforward. I actually like it. Makes more sense than the actual Oracle text. Enchant creature card in a graveyard. When this aura enters, if it's on the battlefield, it loses enchant creature card in graveyard and gains enchant creature put onto the battlefield with this aura. Return enchanted creature card to the battlefield under your control and attach this aura to it. When this aura leaves the battlefield, that creature's controller sacrifices it. And enchanted creature gets -1/-0. I don't know why they always have to specify the -0. The -0 is irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. We got Mercenary with Dance of the Dead. Speaking of dead things. Speaking of the dead, we need the older dead one. Dance of the Dead is a 2 mana enchant dead creature. Another enchant dead creature. Take target creature from any graveyard and put it directly into play under your control, tapped with a +1/+1. With +1/+1, treat that creature as though it were just summoned. The creature does not untap during its controller's untap step. Well, that sucks. At the end of his or her upkeep, its controller may pay an additional 2 mana to untap it. If Dance of the Dead is removed, bury the creature in its owner's graveyard. All right, we're going to do the old the dance of when the aura enters. If it's on the battlefield, it loses enchant creature card and gains enchant creature put onto the battlefield with this aura. Put enchant creature card onto the battlefield, tapped under your control, and attach this aura to it. And when this aura leaves the battlefield, that creature's controller sacrifices it. Gets +1/+1, doesn't untap, but guess what? At the beginning of your upkeep, you can pay 1 mana and a black. And if you do, you untap your creature. And it's going to work. Dance of the Dead is great if you intend to kill off your creature to use the triggered grave effects. That sounds like a waste of a reanimation spell, if you ask me. Arethusa, Infinite Authority. Ever heard of this card? No! I have not. It always surprises me in Magic the Gathering to see a card I've never seen before. So, triple white aura, enchant creature. All creatures with toughness 3 or less blocking target creature or blocked by target creature are destroyed at end of combat. It sounds like Death Touch. At the beginning, at the end of the turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature for each creature destroyed in this manner during the turn. Counters remain on creature even if enchantment leaves play. What? Okay, so what it is when enchant creature blocks or becomes blocked by a creature with toughness 3 or less, destroy the other creature at end of combat. At the beginning of the next end step, if that creature was destroyed this way, put a +1/+1 counter on the first creature. You know, I feel like both of them are pretty convoluted and pretty poorly worded. It's like they updated it, but not by much at all. Infinite 3 or less. Did they say infinite here? Destroy at end of turn. I don't see the word infinite. Okay, moving on. We got Rin with the Rod of Ruin. No tap symbol. Oh, they forgot something on the OG Rod of Ruin. There it is. Oh, what's wrong with this? 4 mana, pay 3. It deals 1 damage to any target. Frankly, that's exactly how a card would operate by today's standards. But yeah, it's pay 3, tap. This artifact deals 1 damage to any target. Oh no, it's a mono artifact. It's a mono artifact. You got to understand your mono artifacts. You got to tap those mono artifacts. Yeah, the mono artifacts had no tap symbol. See, but you had to know that. I thought that honestly, I do think it's a bit dumb. So you got the mono artifacts, and then you got the poly artifact. I think there's another one. There's another artifact that if you tap it, you disable it. I don't remember which one that is. Is it Winter Orb? What was Winter Orb called? A continuous artifact. A continuous. Yeah, I did not know that off the top of my head. I just did not know. No, that's just an artifact. No, it was a continuous artifact. See, not all continuous artifacts got disabled by being tapped. Old Magic is jank. And we're returning back to it, apparently. All right, we got a super chat from N. Hailstone. White Ward. Old text was nice and short, but it made the card not really work. All right, let's take a look. We have a white enchant creature. Target creature gains protection from white. Oh no, we need the old one. Not old enough. Okay, white. Target creature gains protection from white. Okay, that's enough. That makes sense to me. Oh, I see. It's weirdly worded because it's enchanted. It's an enchant creature, and then it says target creature gains protection from white. So it's like you enchanted the creature, and then you can target something and say that has protection from white, not the enchanted creature. So today now it is enchanted creature has protection from white. This effect doesn't remove this aura. See, because yeah, you could accidentally just lose by the rules at some point. I'm sure they said, well, if the card has protection, then the aura falls off, which makes this card worthless. Yeah, it would make itself fall off. Funny stuff way back in the day. Argentina, a wonderful member of the Coffee Crew. Okay, edition 5th edition Dark Ritual. Mana Source can't be countered. Oh my god, there's so many Dark Rituals. Do I have to go to a second page? Which one? Oh, I'll look for the. I guess I have to look for the Mana Source. Well, this one's also a Mana Source one. So the Mana Source, a black. It's from Mirage though. Black. It's a Mana Source. Add triple black to your mana pool. So this technically was not an instant or an interrupt. And Mana Sources, you know, they just immediately went on the stack, just like tapping mana. Back in the day. Oh, we do have the 5th edition here. Same thing, Mana Source. Not anymore. Man, that's like it's partially broken. It definitely would make it better by today's standards, that's for sure. Charging Badger, the Wave of Terror. No longer happens at your at the end of your upkeep. So what is this? 3 mana enchantment, cumulative upkeep of 1. At the end of your upkeep, bury each creature with casting cost equal to Wave of Terror's last paid cumulative upkeep. Oh, that's cool. So you put like you pay your 1 for your cumulative upkeep, and at the end of the upkeep, you then bury all the creatures equal to 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So what's different now? So you still have the cumulative upkeep of 1. At the beginning of your draw step, oh, they moved it to the draw step. Destroy each creature with mana value equal to the number of age counters on this enchantment. They can't be regenerated. That makes actually a lot of sense. So when you go to cumulative upkeep, what you're technically doing is putting an age counter on the card. It doesn't say that. I don't like that it doesn't say that, but it doesn't say that. But you're technically putting age counters on the card, and then you have to pay that cost. Pay 1 mana for each age counter, or you lose it. Buy or lose it, or whatever. Christopher B. Upwelling. Get it from Scourge. 4 mana enchantment. Mana pools don't empty at the end of phases or turns. This card is stone cold useless now. Mana pool. Oh no, wait. I'm interpreting this wrong. It's useful. Mana pools don't empty at the end of phases or turns. Okay, no, that's good. I was looking at the opposite. I thought this was like I was reading it like it has to empty, which it's supposed to anyway. Players don't lose unspent mana as steps and phases end. It's basic, honestly, it's basically the same thing. I don't see how it's like a rule, it changes the rules by very much or anything when I'm reading this. Crazy when there was mana burn. No, it was crazy. Mana pools don't empty. So yeah, this saved your butt in the mana burn era. Islarf with weakness. Losing negative power and toughness would be positive, right? Back in the day it was. Back in the day, if you could get negative, it turns into a positive, but not anymore. So weakness, a black aura, enchant creature. Enchant creature gets -2, -1. Oh, let's look. We need the not old enough. Okay, target creature loses -2, -1. If this drops the creature's toughness below 1, it is it is dead. Oh, really? You didn't know that? Oh, I see. So maybe there was an interpretation at one time that if you, oh, I see. So like if this thing made the, I don't know how you would get it to that point, but if a creature was already negative, then you added a negative, technically negative, subtract a negative, turn something positive. They're just specifying if it's in the negative zone, it's in the gonzo zone. So, please politely take your creature and put it into the graveyard pile. Please do that. If he dies, he dies. Magic was a hell of a game back then. Okay, Indiana Jones with the Goblin Balloon Brigade. Really? I didn't pay attention to this card close enough to know that it was a problem. Oh, the OG Alpha version, some people argued that it gave all goblins flying. Ooh, that's spicy. That's very spicy. Okay, we have a red Summon Goblins. It's a 1/1. I didn't know this card was so old. The art is the best. The old art is the best one. Okay, for a red, goblins gain flying ability until end of turn. That's exactly how I would interpret it. 100%. That looks great, actually. Like, every goblin deck needs to have this card. 100%. It did, because it didn't say Goblin Balloon Brigade. It should, if anything, it should say for a red, goblin gain flying this turn. But instead, they said goblins, as in more than one, as in not this one. Controller may not choose to make goblins fly after they have been blocked. What, like we can be on the ground now? Anyway, I've been errated to this creature gains flying until end of turn. Very, very interesting. Very cool. We got, okay, Lesthian, Alpha Unsummon. Had extra restriction. That's fascinating to learn because I played Unsummon quite a bit. Okay, Alpha Unsummon is a blue instant. A return creature to owner's hand. Enchantments on creature are carded. I have no idea what that means. Is that like a, I don't know, an error between like printing this damn thing? Unsummon cannot be played during the damage dealing phase of an attack. That was sort of relevant back then because there was damage on the stack. So actually they said, basically they said way back in the day, you're not allowed to save your creature with damage on the stack during the damage step because maybe discard it. Maybe that's not what it's not what it said. But card ed, no wonder the cards are messed up. Yeah, I know, it's learning from this crap. But so what it did is, so a long time ago at the damage step, creatures that just didn't immediately die. Creatures would then be assigned damage, like a 1/1 would take 5 damage, but it was on the stack. You could, in response, play like a few giant growths to save your 1/1, or give it indestructible or something, or bounce it with Unsummon. But Unsummon is saying you actually are not allowed to use this during the damage portion of the, you're not allowed to use it during the damage step. Anyway, now it's just return target creature to its owner's hand. But I tell you what, you don't have to worry about the. We're going to look at more of these cards, but you don't have to worry nearly as much about the janky text of them when you're renting cards these days with Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards on Magic Online to play any deck, any format you want, digitally. And you play all your favorite paper formats. Could be Commander, one-on-one Commander, competitive, casual, standard, Pioneer, modern, legacy, vintage, and more. And you have access to all those cards and decks when you're renting with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using coupon code Nikachu_G4U for a 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. And let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Damage did indeed not use the stack in alpha. Oh, really? They didn't invent that. That's why you get damage prevention effects and got weird as the damage rules changed. Interesting. I did not play during alpha, so I'm not a historian on that thing. But if this card did exist during alpha, yeah, I mean, it looks like it would not be using. You're not allowed to use it while damage was on the stack. Nikachu is an infant in Magic lore. Basically, I mean, I started playing this game around the year 2000. We got Rare Blue Skittles. Do you do the Rock Hydra? This is like a really old Hydra. Limited Edition Beta. This is a pretty cool looking card for the time. So we have a red X for a 0/0 summon Hydra. Put X +1/+1 counters. Heads. These act like the heads. They were trying to tell you the lore, all right? They want you to fantasize properly, just in case you thought otherwise. Each point of damage Hydra suffers just destroys 1 head unless red is spent. During upkeep, new heads may be grown for red apiece. Of course, these days, you know, this just enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. Hopefully, you know, they all each represent the head of a Hydra. And you know, we have clean templating red, prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to this creature, or triple red, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. We regrow our heads. I didn't realize the creatures suffer. We got Mr. Lovebutts wants a hot tub stream. Look, I don't have a whole lot of room. Oh man, it would have. I don't know what would make that hot tub stream work. Do I look like a hot tub stream sort of streamer? Thanks for not selling us beds and freeze-dried fruit food. Oh, just you wait. I'm actually working with a soap sponsorship. So that I might be peddling some soap around here. But I use the soap. That's the important thing. Back with Hostage Taker. Mostly, I only like to sponsor stuff that like I use. So if I don't eat the cereal or if I don't use the bed, then I don't want it. I've had so many gaming chair special, like so many people want to give me their gaming chair for free to advertise it. I have like an actual ergonomic chair. That's like good stuff. Okay, Hostage Taker, 4 mana, 2/3 human pirate. When Hostage Taker enters the battlefield, exile target creature or artifact or creature until Hostage Taker leaves the battlefield. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast that spell. I forget, what was the deal with this card? It says like when Hostage Taker enters the battlefield, exile target artifact or creature. And then they changed it to when this creature enters the battlefield, exile another target creature or artifact until this creature leaves the battlefield. You may cast that card. What is the difference with that? Like, so it's like, I don't know the nuances. So the old one, you could do it to the Hostage Taker. Exile target artifact or creature until hostage. So you could target your own Hostage Taker and it like infinitely loops itself. So you would exile itself. Exile target artifact or creature until Hostage Taker leaves the battlefield. No, you can still actually target itself. Or gained another. I don't get it, actually. Another. Oh, sorry. Here it is. Exile. Oh, yeah. Here you go. Exile another target creature, so you can't target itself. That was a big oversight. Oops. Oops, Wizards. They slipped up on that one, and that was the beginning of many slip ups by Wizards of the Coast for like I don't know up to this point. All Wizards does is just screw up constantly. Okay, we got Marcio with the Braid. I don't know if Braid, not an actual Oracle change. No, it's gotta be Oracle changes. That's the whole point of the show. Sorry about that. Yeezus, Chains of Mephistopheles. Did it actually change? Or no, I guess it did change. So we have a 2-mana enchantment. If a player would, okay, so no, we have to look at the original one. We gotta dust this one off. So much dust on this one. It's so old. 2-mana enchantment. Every time a player draws a card, that player must first discard a card from his or her hand. If there are no cards in player's hand, take top card from library and place it in the graveyard instead of drawing. This enchantment does not apply to the first card drawn by a player during the draw phase. Oh my, this card actually makes sense. We need to change the Oracle text back to this original text. This actually makes sense to me. Because the Oracle text just confuses the crap out of me. If a player would draw a card except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, that player discards a card instead. If the player discards a card this way, they draw a card. If the player doesn't discard a card this way, they mill a card. I don't like that one. I don't like how they explain that. No good. No good at all. Okay, Marcio is going to change suggestion to Navinral's Disc. That's actually an great suggestion. So if you look at the OG Navinral's Disc, I actually wanted to buy some OG Navinral's Discs. They're like over $1,000. I got so sad when I looked at the price. All the OG cards are super expensive. I was an idiot to buy. Like I don't know what I was buying at the time that these things were cheap, but I think these things were pretty cheap like 10 years ago. I don't think they were that expensive. 4 mana for a mono artifact. Pay 1, destroy all creatures, enchantments, and artifacts in play. Disc begins tapped, but can be untapped as usual. Disc destroys itself when used. So does not have tap symbol because of mono artifact. Also specifies at the end that it has to come into play tapped, where these days the artifact enters tapped. And then of course pay 1, tap, destroy all artifact, creatures, and enchantments. And that still remains to today. Yeah, Navinral's Disc is Larry Nevin backwards, and it was dedicated to him. Yeah, in some sense. Big shout out to Larry Nevin. Billy C, Time Twister. The card went to a different graveyard. Really? Oh, did they not invent the exile zone yet? I guess that was the deal. No exile zone. I didn't catch that on Time Twister. 3-mana sorcery. Set Time Twister aside in a new graveyard pile. New one. Shuffle your hand, library, and graveyard together into a new library and draw a new hand of 7 cards, leaving all cards in play where they are. Opponent must do the same. Each player shot. Oh, I see. These days, it still goes to the graveyard, but they just didn't want you to reshuffle the original Time Twister. Here, like, the card has to resolve, and then it goes to the graveyard. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into the library, then draws 7 cards. Then, put Time Twister in its owner's graveyard. We need to bring the new graveyard back. We need Graveyard 2. Some people want Graveyard 2. Who wants a second graveyard in this game? That way, when graveyard removal can only target one graveyard. They can't hit your second graveyard. Gotta diversify graveyards around here. Acromegas, back then you had mono artifact as a type, which implied you had to tap it to use the abilities. I know it's a little Magic was a little bit more elegant back then. Anyone with no card yet? Toilet Duck doesn't have a card yet. Nature's Chosen. The only version of this card. Second activated ability costs 0 and only mentions tapping after the colon instead of before. So it's part of the effect instead of the cost. So green enchantment, play on a creature you control, and for 0, untap enchanted creature. Uses ability only during your turn and only once each turn. And for 0, tap enchanted creature to untap target artifact, creature, or land. Uses ability only if enchanted creature is white and only once each turn. Okay, so now one of these aren't even an ability anymore. Oh, now it's tap the enchanted creature. What is enchanted creature you own? Pay 0, untap enchanted creature, activate only during your turn and only once each turn. But the next one is tap enchanted creature, untap target artifact, creature, or land. We can only activate this if the enchanted creature is white and untapped and only once each turn. Okay, it is good that you specify that it's untapped, because otherwise you can like perpetually tap something over and over and over again. We got a super chat from Conspiracy Cracker. Thank you very much for your super chat. I appreciate it. Sending altars to P.O. Box. What you like besides merfolk? Artifacts and lands. I like artifacts and lands. That's what I like besides. Thank you for letting me know. All right, I'll keep that in mind. And so what that means is I'm going to check my P.O. Box a little bit more liberally. Otherwise, I usually check it like once every 2 months. Unless you say if it's a big package, let me know. And also be careful, because I'm like ideally it's something small enough that can fit in a P.O. box. Because if it's a big enough package, it won't fit in my P.O. box, and I'm doing a lot of traveling over the next 2 months. Thanks for letting me know, though. We got Vazan. Okay, you're gonna get the super chat. Thanks for letting me know the P.O. box thing, though. Necrologia. Got a minor change, so nothing special, but it's my favorite niche card draw spell in Commander. Change is a change. So 5 mana instant, play Necrologia only during your discard phase. So I guess these days they would just say the cleanup step. Pay X life, draw X cards. And... oh no, this is a pretty big change. Because what this says is, like the way it's worded, you pay X life when it resolves, and you draw X cards. That is that completely changes how this card works. Now it's as an additional cost to cast the spell, pay X life. So like you have to pay the life up front. And if it gets countered, you don't get that life back. I was like, you're just big sad, and you draw X cards. That's a massive change. Oh, you use a P.O. box, you know the drill? That's so good. That's good. Hopefully package small enough that I can just leave it there till I get back. Okay, what do we got? Bryce has the Ruck Egg. A classic Ruck Egg. It's something to do with being discarded. Do you even get priority during end step normally? Yep, you do. Whoever's turn is it gets priority, and then they pass priority. Usually people just blast during the end step. Yeah, so the beginning of the end step, you have priority. Your stuff triggers. You can do whatever you want. Usually people pass the priority because they're like, okay, end my turn. So there's when you say end my turn, basically you're saying I'm passing my priority. And like, do you want to do anything? Usually the active player doesn't want to do anything at the beginning of their turn. Ruck Egg is a 4-mana summon egg. If Ruck Egg goes to the graveyard, that was the thing. A 4/4 red flying creature comes into play. Oh, what a surprise! On your side at the end of turn. Use a counter to represent Ruck. Ruck is treated exactly like a normal creature. All right, it's nothing special. Treat him like a normal creature. Don't just treat him so strangely. Except that if it leaves play, it is removed from the game entirely. Okay, yeah, because it's like a token. Okay, these days it's like, okay, there was a few problems with this card back then because by specifying it goes to the graveyard, like if you discarded the card from your hand, it goes to the graveyard. If you milled the card into the graveyard, it went to the graveyard. And then you just randomly got this 4/4 creature when in actuality it's supposed to be in play and then it's supposed to die. Anyhow, so that nowadays it's like when this creature dies, which implies it was in play before, create a 4/4 red bird creature token with flying at the beginning of the next end step. Sweet. Yeah, if you discard the card, if you discard card, it's super early, then do work. Ruck Egg was on the Magic's first restricted list. It's too powerful for this game. We made it too powerful. Then they errated it, and it's not so bad anymore. They should have done that more often. Mario with the super chat. Anime Dead. Oh, we did Anime Dead already. Sorry about that. Okay, you know what, Marcio? Give me another card. I'll keep an eye out for you in chat. Okay, well, we're going to move on to Kagan. Extinguish. Used to be able to counter itself. Counter target sorcery spell. Not even a sorcery card, though. Right? On the portal card. Okay, ooh, look at that mana symbol. Look at that super old mana symbol. I kind of like it. You got this like white teardrop or like water drop there. I like it. Sorcery. Oh god. Wait, the sorcery counter spell is useless. Play Extinguish only in response to another player playing a sorcery. Well, that is impossible. It's completely impossible. That sorcery has no effect, and that player puts it into their graveyard. That's hilarious. Didn't portal sets have no instance? Yeah, that's a weird restriction. That is, from what I understand, that is true. They like sort of dumbed it down. But then why do you have a counterspell in the damn deck? Can't play. I guess you activated my trap card. Very funny. Okay, Marcio has Library of Lang. Okay, let's we'll do. Okay, I'll get that in a second. Do this is where the sorcery counterspell custom cards from. Yeah, probably. Learning from crap like this. Okay, let's do Library of Lang. Apparently from Marcio. We need the super old one. I don't know what the old one is, actually. I never read it. It's a 1-mana continuous artifact. There is no limit to size of your hand. It's funny how grammatically incorrect the old cards were. It should be like, if card forces you to discard, you may choose to discard to top of your library rather than to graveyard. If discard is random, you may look at card before deciding where to discard it. You may choose to discard says, oh, I see. So it can go, so when cards are discarded, they can go to the graveyard or they could go to the top. And also if they were randomly discarded, you get to look at it before you choose. So in this case, you have no maximum hand size. That's about the same. If an effect causes you to discard a card, discard it, but you may put it on top of your library instead of into your graveyard. Just much cleaner. It's clean as a whistle. Acromega says, your hands can be as big as you like, but you're not allowed to slap anyone with them. Voltland with Simulacrum. The OG doesn't gain you life. Oh, here we go. Oops. Get a Simulacrum. Not familiar with these old cards. Where the hell is this card? This came from Alpha. This is a 2-mana instant. All damage done to you so far this turn is instead retroactively applied to one of your creatures in play. Oh, so we're like removing the damage and putting it there. If this creature if the damage kills the creature, it can be regenerated, even if there's more than enough damage to kill the creature. You don't suffer any of it. Further damage this turn is treated normally. But it does sound like it's changing your life total back to where it was before. So for Simulacrum, it says instant. You gain life equal to the damage dealt to you this turn. Simulacrum deals to target creature you control equal to the damage dealt to you. But it sounds like you can regenerate it. If this damage kills the creature, it can... Oh, I see. It can be regenerated, but we're not regenerating the creature. But it can. So you could deal... you have the option to save the creature that you're blasting. I hope the creature found it fine. Try playing Chandelar. It's frustrating at first, but it's a gem after the learning curve. Yeah, I should actually play Chandelar. Problem is, I see a lot of YouTubers, they play Chandelar, and they got like almost no views out of it. So I just don't know if it's worth the time commitment. On the other hand, I am curious. I should play the damn thing. Okay, next up, we've got... Leon. Diplomatic Relations. I think the regenerability is janked up anyways. Oh, yeah. What the hell is this? Okay, so this is actually a newish card. Technically should be disqualified. 3-mana instant. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains vigilance until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. They actually changed it. 0-day errata. Diplomatic Relations received an update to say target creature you control gains vigilance. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Why did they have to do that? I think it's actually pretty cool, actually, that you can target your opponent's creatures. Yeah, target only your creatures. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains vigilance until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature. Was it just not, like, flavorful or something? I guess it had the wrong flavor. You can kill 2 creatures you don't control. How does that work? Target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains vigilance. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Oh, I guess you still control it, so you can kill someone. You can kill something with a creature you don't control. Yeah, before you can make one opposing creature bite another that's red. But it's only dealing damage. It doesn't fight, right? It's just dealing its damage. You can make... Oh, you can make a creature kill. You can Sudoku. The creature can commit Sudoku. Gotcha. That's fascinating. R.I.P. my opponent's creatures. Cool stuff. Kill him with Time Vault. That's an old card. I think all the versions of Time Vault have it like a jank text on them, if I remember correctly. It's all terrible. Okay, Time Vault. It's a mono artifact, people. You must tap it. Tap to gain an additional turn after the current one. Time Vault doesn't untap normally during untap phase. To untap it, you must skip a turn. Time Vault begins tapped. Cool stuff. Oh yeah, these days it's like a lot. But it's way clearer now. Artifact enters tapped. This doesn't untap during your untap step. If you would want it, if you would begin your turn while this artifact is tapped, you may skip that turn instead. If you do, untap the artifact and take an extra turn after this one. These days you gotta untap it with something. I untap it with Mirror Regery. I thought it was super cool. Time Vault bounced between unplayable and super busted with all the erratas. Yeah, I heard there was a big long history of erratas with this thing. Yeah, they changed Time Vault with all sorts of jank, but you know, we've settled on I think we figured it out at this point. We know what to do now. Anyone else with no card yet? Is there anyone I'm missing? Got you, Gillum. I guess we're up to no 2 cards yet at this point. Kano with Lotus Veil. Sir Stanley is like, anyone else compelled to look through your decades-old decks looking for cards that would apply? There's a lot of people that don't like that on this show. They just grab a bunch of old cards that they have and they're sifting through them. Lotus Veil is a land. When Lotus Veil comes into play, sack 2 untapped lands or bury your Lotus Veil. Tap, add 3 mana of any one color to your mana pool. Is there anything different? So what? I'm just without me looking at the Oracle text. When Lotus Veil comes into play, sacrifice 2 untapped lands. I think it would be basically the same, right? So it's like if this land would enter, sacrifice 2 untapped lands instead. If you do, put this land onto the battlefield. If you don't, put it into its owner's graveyard. Okay, so they made it more complicated. Or I don't know. It's just more specific. What's bury again? Yes, from what I understand, destroying cannot be regenerated. I guess these days, for things that are not creatures, they would say you gotta sacrifice it. Or they didn't even say sacrifice here. If you don't just put into your graveyard. No sacrifice triggers for you. Doesn't happen. Yeah, honestly, the OG text was cleaner. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. Toladuck, Sylvan Paradise. Oracle text is just a single sentence. Oh my god, she naked. Okay, it's a green instant. Changes the color of 1 or more target creatures to green until end of turn. You choose which and how many creatures are affected. Cost to tap, maintain, or use a special ability of target creatures remain entirely unchanged. So yeah, just because your white creature turned green, they still use their white-like abilities. And now it's just green. 1 or more target creatures become green until end of turn. Very minimalistic these days. Completely minimalistic. Dinglebag. Do we do the Walking Atlas? Nope. You just got here? Oh yeah, well you have no card yet then. Gotta get in there. Walking Atlas. Okay, well technically, yeah, 1 card is enough. Okay, the 2 mana 1/1 construct tap. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. I can't remember what was wrong with this. Oh, there's creature construct. What was wrong with this card? 2 mana 1/1. Oh, it didn't say it was an artifact. That was the thing that's missing. Yeah, artifact creature. I guess technically not an artifact. Just a 1/1 creature. Everything else unchanged. Yeah, it used to not be the artifact. What is this? Arco Magnus? Black Fies. I play against this card every so often. Changed a bunch as the opponent to have more than 1 opponent in a game become an option. Let's look at the OG printing. If I can get to an OG printing. He had no reprints to fix it either. Well, yeah, what's wrong with the Walking Atlas? Okay, so the back in the old days, we had a 1 mana continuous artifact. It didn't tap though. If opponent has more than 4 cards in hand during upkeep, Black Vise does 1 damage to opponent for each card in excess of 4. Ah. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense as... You know what, this is great proof that they originally didn't make this a multiplayer game. I actually originally thought like it was originally a multiplayer game that you can get a bunch of buddies to play together and, you know, you just play whatever decks. But they didn't introduce multiplayer until not too far, but it took a while. Wasn't part of the original game. And these days, you know, as it enters, you have to choose an opponent. And at the beginning of the chosen player's upkeep. Actually, I didn't even realize that about Black Vise, that you had to choose an opponent. But I only play mostly one-on-one Magic. We got a liberal nerd. We did not. You know what? We looked at Winter Orb for a second, but nobody actually declared Winter Orb. I went to Winter Orb just to check on the continuous artifact thing. Yeah, so Winter Orb is one of those, because it's not a continuous artifact, right? It is a, what's it called? Oh, no, this is a continuous artifact. Yeah, this is a continuous artifact. Pay 2 mana, continuous artifact. Players can untap only 1 land each during untap phase. It's very convoluted. Creatures and artifacts are untapped as normal, but these days, as long as this artifact is untapped, players can't untap more than 1 land during their untap steps, and so on. Jacob with camouflage. I didn't know that card had a big change. Oh, this card. I'm mistaking it with a card called Carnophage. Let's go to the alpha version, the OG of OGs. If I recall, all artifacts turned off when tapped, but mono artifacts specifically had to tap to use their ability. These days, very few artifacts are turned off when tapped. Very few. Why did Winter Orb get the untapped clause, but not Black Vise? I don't know. They just, I guess at some point they errated it. It's like, okay, these, you get this, you get this. Camouflage, a green instant. You may rearrange your attacking creatures and place them face down. Wow, face down existed in alpha, revealing which is which only after defense is chosen. If this results in impossible blocks, such as non-flying creatures, blocking flying creatures, illegal blockers cannot block this turn. Do you know what's interesting? Back in the day, there weren't sleeves, so your cards were marked. And if your cards had any enough wear, then your opponent just knew what card you put onto the battlefield. In fact, your opponent might even say, okay, in response to camouflage, I'm actually going to pay really close attention to the backs of all your Magic cards because none of them are pristine clean, and I'll just know exactly what you put there. Camouflage is one of those cards where ancient scripture is far more coherent. Yeah, these days, cast this spell only during your declare attacker step. This turn, instead of declaring blockers, each defending player chooses any number of creatures they control and divides them into a number of piles equal to the number of attacking creatures for whom that player is the defending player. Creatures those players control that can block additional creatures may likewise be put into additional piles. Assign each pile to a different one of those attacking creatures and random. Each creature in a pile that can block the creature that pile is assigned to does so. What the heck? I don't know what this card does anymore. I don't get it. No sense. Zero sense at all reading this thing. Okay, we got Tina Mine. This is my first favorite card, Limb Duel's Paladin. I thought I knew what camouflage did. Now I'm walking away thinking maybe I don't. Maybe I'm not such hot stuff. Yeah, exactly. Why are piles getting involved in this? It made more sense without the piles. Limb Duel's Paladin is a 4-mana 0/3 Paladin. It's a summon a Paladin. Trample. During your upkeep, choose and discard a card from your hand or bury your Limb Duel's Paladin and draw a card. Are we drawing a card actually? Oh, so I guess we are not looting, rummaging. If any creatures are assigned to block it, Limb Duel's Paladin gets +6/+3 until end of turn. Does it have Rampage? If Limb Duel's Paladin attacks and is not blocked, it deals no damage to defending player this turn, and that player loses 4 life. Effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to counter this loss of life. It feels like they squeezed in some rummaging and some rampaging. And so the Oracle tax is now, we have to, trample is still the same. That's the only thing that's clean here. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may discard a card. If you don't, sacrifice this creature. Oh, you have to discard the card like Masticore. And if you don't, you sack the creature and draw. You only draw the card if the thing was sacrificed. Now, whenever this creature becomes blocked, it gets +6/+3 until it turns. You just might as well not block the damn thing. Whenever this creature attacks and isn't blocked, it assigns no combat damage this turn, and defending player loses 4 life. Interesting. Very, very interesting. It's more like weird flanking than rampaging. Yeah, it's possible. We got Pistol Shrimp, the Evil Eye of Orms. Evil Eye of Orms. Orms by Gore. From Legends. Evil Eye of... I think I'm looking it up. Hopefully I'm looking it up. Maybe I'm confused. Hold on. What if I look up Evil Eye? What if I look up Evil Eye Scryfall? Scryfall is getting confused. Okay, but we need the Legends one. Ooh, look at that big eye. Ooh, that big ugly eye of yours. Okay, 5 mana for 3/6. Summon Evil Eye, which that's not like that anymore. None of your creatures can attack except for Evil Eyes. Evil Eye can only be blocked by walls. None of your creatures can attack. This card's terrible. This card is absolutely terrible. Okay, so these days, it's just an eye, not an evil eye. It's a good eye, actually. You know what? Rehabilitated, brought back into the world, now has a job, actually has a family, and is now a wonderful part of society. Now, non-eye creatures you control can't attack still, and this creature can't be blocked except by walls. Not a lot of eye creatures in this game. There are some, but not many. Back then, what if your eye wasn't evil? Okay, so somebody still has, hold on, Violent Beetle has, where's Violent Beetle? Violent Beetle! Okay, last one, type, get in. Uncle Istvan. And his creature type, and if you don't see me again, I give up and go to bed. Don't worry, Violent Beetle, we have other people actually looking out for you. It's just one of those days where every single time you probably post, I'm not looking. And by the time I look at the chat, you're not there. We got Uncle Istvan. Not this one. We want the original Uncle Istvan. We got for 4 mana, 1/3. A 1/3 Uncle Istvan. All damage done to Uncle Istvan by creatures is reduced to 0. But these days, Uncle Istvan is a human being. A human being. Believe it or not. Carries an axe, but is a human after all. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to this creature by creatures. That makes sense. Oh yeah, it's like all creatures that would deal to this thing, not dealing. Jeff, Illusionary Mask. Careful, Uncle Istvan is crazy. Should be a Planeswalker, Uncle Istvan. Yeah. It's basically how the Planeswalkers work. Don't trust that. That's one uncle you don't want to go stick around unless you're running from someone with a bigger axe, I guess. Illusionary Mask is a 2-mana poly artifact. X, you can summon a creature face down, so opponent doesn't know what it is. Thank you for thanks for giving me strategic advice, Illusionary Mask. You know, judges aren't even allowed to do that. The X cost can be any amount of mana, even 0. It serves to hide the true casting cost of the creature, which you still have to spend. As soon as a face-down creature receives damage, deals damage, or is tapped, you must turn it face up. So that the heist is over. Now they split up into 2 abilities these days. It's not a poly artifact anymore, it's just an artifact. You choose a creature card in your hand whose mana cost could be paired by some amount of or all of the mana you spend on it. I guess you have to, like, prove that you actually spent the right amount of mana on it. Wasn't this banned due to games going to time? No, this card, I don't think so. This card I have never seen in a competitive environment, ever. I don't know, maybe it was part of a very old competitive environment. And also, for X, if you do, you may cast that card face down as a 2/2 creature spell without paying its mana cost. If the creature that spell becomes, as it resolves, has not been turned face up and would assign combat. Assign or deal damage, be dealt damage, or become tapped. Instead, it's turned face up and assigns or deals damage, is dealt damage, or becomes tapped. Activate only as a sorcery. What a botch. What a botch. It's not split, it's just an unfortunately placed line break. Very unfortunately placed. Oh, it was used in 1994, 1995 in limited numbers, but not enough to make a dent. Oh, yeah, of course. People were just playtesting back then. We got Kagan with Dio-chan. Artful Beauty. What about it? Now your opponent is the one destroying the second creature. Scryfall having a... Scryfall's taking a break right now, it seems. Okay, 4 mana for a 1/1. Already not doing very well. It is a legend. On your turn, before you attack, you may tap Diao-chan. Diao-chan? Diao-chan to destroy any one creature. So on my main phase, I guess, tap and destroy a creature. Then your opponent destroys any one creature of their choice. Oh my god, they'll just kill my Diao-chan. My Diao-chan. Now it is a legendary creature and actually has a creature type. It was a human advisor apparently. Shouldn't it just be like human assassin? Tap, destroy target creature of your choice, then destroy target creature of an opponent's choice. Activate only during your turn before attackers are declared. Well, they can still kill this thing, right? Destroy target creature of an opponent's choice, which can be the Diao-chan. Diao-chan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly or not. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. You can choose a different opponent. Oh, really? Oh, wait a minute. Before you attack, you may have... Then your opponent... Oh! And now it's destroy target creature of your choice, then destroy target creature of an opponent's choice. Well, it's still like that, though. Yeah, any opponent. Activate only during your turn. So now... So 2 things can be destroyed, actually. This card is insane! This card is actually more broken than I thought it was. So you actually kill 2 things. So we're going to destroy something that I want to destroy. Then I can get somebody else to also choose something to be destroyed. And it could be both in our favor. That's crazy. It's actually really good. Yeah, but those cards aren't really meant for more than 2 players, are they? Well, I think they are now. Works out perfectly. Neat. That's actually really cool. Okay, that's it for today. Hope everyone enjoyed the show. It was a good show. These shows are brought to you by, well, people like you. Actually, it was suggested by, I can't remember who suggested it, but the last few days we've been doing a lot of shows suggested by people. As usual, we do these shows weekdays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Keep your eyes, I'm gonna have a big schedule change next week. And by change, I mean we're going to have like 2 shows a day next week. But if you're watching this, I don't know, way in the future, then ignore what I'm just saying. As usual, hold on, is there a super chat here? Oh, Big Mike had something to say. Not sure if this was covered yet, but Floral Spasm. We did do Floral Spasm. Oh, God. Well, then we have to donate this thing. Does anyone have a card? No, we're too far out. Big Mike, if you have a card you want, let me know. Remind me in the future. All right? Just remind me. I'll give you a card. But we did Floral Spasms. We're too far gone at this point. Thanks to everybody who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here, being part of the show. We've got people like Big Mike, Steve Cooper, Hexanort, Jess, John, Indiana Jones, Old Boy, Kano. We got Arcomagus, Benny, Old Boy again, Toads, Jeff, Christopher B. Still suggesting cards. You never know. Adeptus. We got David Sampson, Mercenary, we got Toads, of course, and many more. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing those coffees. I'm going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.